Anyway, guys, this is the way this is going to work. We got 160 participants, 160 names this time around. We'll shuffle them up. I'll pick a number randomly when we get ready to go. Once that number is drawn by the wheel, we will switch over here and find out who has got that number and will win this big package.
So what I'm doing right now is Black Cat Irving is running his raffle.
Brian.
I'm going to take and let that run just a little bit.
TruckCBSales.com.
And we'll get this thing started.
I want to thank Brian for
That's
creating this
Irving
game
from
for us.
Black Cat Radio, New York.
Supplying the radio and the tube amp will be coming from him, and the antenna will be coming from me. But this is a great package. Whoever wins this package is going to be one lucky dog. Good evening, Danny. Good evening, Carl. But we're going to give it one more minute here. I see we got about 18 people in the room altogether. Spin time is 8 o'clock. I got 8 o'clock on my phone. I got 7:59 up there. So when that clock hits 8 o'clock, we'll go ahead and spin the wheel. If you guys haven't seen yet, I have another game going on for a Striker 955 and a 6-pill mobile amp.
This is Irving from Black Cat Radio.
I started
He's
this
doing his
morning
raffle
and we're
right now live.
already past halfway. So get in on it if you want your chance to win. And then after that game, we're going to have another Striker radio going off with the 8-pill from 123 South Jersey. But anyway, all right, it's that time. We got 23 people in the room, and we're going to go ahead and shuffle this up. I'll take 5. We'll shuffle these numbers up 5 times. We'll spin the wheel, and we're going to see who our lucky winner is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll spin the wheel. Good luck, everybody.
That's pretty cool. Holy shit.
133.
Oh, no way. It's not rigged.
Who is 133?
That's me.
Danny Fretchett. Danny, 123 South Jersey. Congratulations, brother.
That's so funny.
All right.
funny.
Guys, thank you again for participating
You
in
got to
supporting
be
Black
kidding
Cat
me.
Radio. It's greatly appreciated. And I'm going to continue
Golly.
to tell you guys time and time again. I want to thank Brian from TruckCB Sales, TruckCBSales.com, for the awesome
hell, I
radio
guess I
and
just won
the
this, so.
amp. And guys, I do have another game out there. Please get involved. And as long as people are playing, I'm going to continue doing these games. Thank you again. And Danny, reach out to me, and we'll move forward. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it all.
I can't believe that I won that. Holy moly. I think it's a Mako 580 ground plane. That's so cool. I did not expect to win that. Wow, what a wow. I don't even know what to say about that. Very good. Very cool. Irving, thank you. That is freaking cool. I'm speechless on that. So, apparently I just won the raffle. Irving, thank you. That is freaking cool. I'm speechless on that. So, apparently I just won the raffle. Irving, thank you. Woo! That's really freaking cool. Like I need more stuff here, but I'll take it. So what's going on, everybody? Apparently I just won the raffle over there at Black Cat Radio. He spun the wheel and I won that. I can't believe it. Oh wow, that is really cool. So, hello to everybody. We're gonna do a 2 driving 8. My phone is blinking and dinking over there. We're going to do this video on this unit. See the front of remote. Wow. Thanks again, Irving. That was really cool. All right, so here we go. Kind of got some standard business here. This is a 2-drive-8 South Jersey unit. This one is sold. I was going to make it, and then I ended up getting a couple phone calls, and one guy was on the fence, and the other guy was ready, and he was hell-bent to get it. So he got it taken care of, and I got it done. The next one I'm getting ready to build is that 8 built for the next raffle for Irving. But I think I have a 5 coming up as well. But here is two 2290s in this unit. All right, we got 2 standard 2290s HG, standard circuit in these. They do, I don't know, somewhere right around 80 to 100 watts or so. It depends on the radio, really, is what you're going to get out of this drive section here. So we're gonna run the radio soft, and we'll pick it on up. So here's your standard 8-pill section, 8 transistor sections. How I present it, I use 1¼ transformers, and I made a lot of room for the input network. And I know this throws you guys for a loop, but it is inductance, and it's what it's all about, is inductance, 50 ohms, and that's what those coils, frequency and such. So I had to make room for I could place a two transistor section in here, and I do love the brass bars, but it's not really necessary for actually this this setup. So the next unit I'm going to build is going to be a straight 8, but again, I'm going to take and leave, keep in mind, I'm going to leave room. So this is, just look at it like that, it's going to be an 8 straight back. Also, I'm only going to probably put 2 wires in the other one. I'm running 6-gauge wire in here, 3 6-gauge wires, so I have way more wire than I really truly need. If you're looking at 6-gauge wire, it's about, what's coming out of this box is equivalent to probably a 1/0 wire. So what's going on, Jay, all the way down there in Australia? So we're looking at, I do still put a lot of wire in here. It's not necessary, but I have enough of this stuff that I can take and give you guys a little bit extra length on them, put an extra wire in, and definitely you're not going to be sagging on this side of the voltage. Now, you get into your vehicles, you don't have a big enough alternator and battery system, you're not going to be able to run the stuff, and that happens. Sometimes the guys do put the carriage in front of the horse, and they're all screwed up. They've got a big piece of equipment, but they have no way of running it, even softly. So you just have to, thank you, Travis, you just have to take and think about your purchase or what you're going to have to do to upgrade when you upgrade your equipment. So a lot of guys will come in from a 5 transistor unit or a 1 driving 4 or a 2 driving 4. Then they'll move into sometimes a 6. The smarter guy is going to double up and say, I'm just going to go with a 2 driving 8 or something of that nature. But you have to have a little bit more amperage. You know, we're going to see this unit draw up to probably run around 130 amps or so at full input, maximum output power. So input power meaning my radio. So let's go ahead and start this test. You guys already seen all the other great stuff. There is still yet a great fan kit in this thing, and it's not going to get hot. This has got a tremendous fan kit in it. It's 206 CFM. Let's see, 212 CFM of fan. So you definitely have plenty. Actually, one of these fans that I use would actually do the job for this chassis, but since there's 2 of them in there, I'm putting 2 fans in there. I'm not taking and putting a plexiglass lid, a bunch of disco lights inside, because you're not looking inside your amplifier. This is the mule, and you want it to work. So let's make the mule work. All right, here's what we're going to look at tonight. We're going to look at a 5-watt input reflex slug going back to my radio. We're going to show the radio a 25-watt slug and RMS going into this. Now, we're talking about the radio. I have a 100-watt slug here. We're going to look at that in the digital, up here on the digital Dave, and we're going to go over the radio again. The Dustin R&R radio is what I'm running right here. It's a Comp 29, great radio. I think in there 170, 270, 250, 250, 250. Yeah, right around 250, 270, somewhere in there. Under 300 bucks, you got yourself a wicked radio at your door. So what people may or may not understand about these radios, and I don't have a big giant power cord on these. I think I got the thinner one going on that one, but it's controlled by how much and where your dead key is. So when you have it down to minimum, and I'm going to show this to you in working order, when you have it down to minimum, you're only going to be able to swing from 0 or half or quarter watt up to a certain number. And then if you raise the dead key up to 4 or 5 watts, you're going to go to the next number. So it's kind of seriesing the power, it's transferring it, so it's in proportion. So if you're down here low, it's only going to swing up so much, it's only going to do so much peak. But yes, this radio is capable of climbing upwards of a high 70s radio, somewhere in that in peak. So let's just take a look. We'll leave this shut off. We'll just go right into the radio portion of it. And I'm going to take and back it all the way down. The mic gain setting there right about 12 o'clock. Don't really need more than that. It don't do any good. So let's take a look at the RMS 100 watt slug. Let's make sure we're on the correct scale here. Yes, we are. And this is RMS 100 watt slug. And it is peak, I'm sorry, this is peak audio. So we're 57 to 62 RMS. And that's passing through the 2-drive 8. So here's your RMS, audio, 910 watts. Now let's see what it is over here on this 25 watt slug. Each line's a half a watt. Audio. So I'll show them more closer to 11 and a half there. All right, now, if I take and bring my carrier up, we'll just look at this. I'll bring this up to 2.5 watts. Now let's see what changes here. Audio, RMS, audio. Not much there. Let's see what happens to the peak. Audio, 67. Let's see the RMS again. Audio. Now we're closer to 12. I haven't increased the voltage or increased the power. I'm just simply changing my dead key, and the radio is automatically doing proportion to maximum swing, proportion to where the dead key is. Now I got a 7 watt carrier there. Audio. You see how it just keeps climbing? Now I'm at 12 and a half. All right, here's your peak again. Here's your peak. Peaker tweaker, audio, 75 watts. It'll grow some more. But this is where you start, and this is wide open. It's unusable. Because look what happens with your dead key. 16 bird dead key. Audio, still got forward swing. That's a lovely thing. Look at the peak now. Audio, 81 to 84 watts peak. But that does not see all of that. This only sees, this amplifier, this driver section, this potentiometer, the attenuation, only is going to see this. 2.5 watts, audio. And I'm probably not even going to be there. I'm going to be closer to 1.5. Let's just go here. We'll go right in the middle of it. Okay. There we go. Audio. So that's 12 watts. Free running, but it's running through the bypass circuit of the relay. Now, what's my peak? Peaker tweaker, audio. So I'm showing 66 watts. There's 66 watts now. I'm gonna just do a quick test and get off of this, and I'm gonna continue to test with this. So let me set a carrier. All right, what was the carrier? Right where I left it, 1.5 watts, right? So 1.5 on a 1,000 watt slug, each line's 20. It gives me a 380 watt carrier. 380 watts, okay? Now, what is my working drive from the radio now that's running the amplifier? We had the same carrier. Audio. So we're we're right at 11 watts. Just smidge over it. We shut it off. Audio. You seen how a little bit more power just got used up? So I don't have the meter set up to read the peak in the drive, meaning I have to pass through just to read that radio. I didn't set up another kit to do that. It's a lot of extra, but hopefully you guys will get a little bit of the gist of how you could have a super good radio turned up and tuned up by a great radio technician, and he knows what he's doing because everything's in proportion. You guys just watched it. We went low and it swung up so much. And then we brought it up, and it swung up just a little bit more, and et cetera, and et cetera. That's in proportion. But we can't run our radios with a wide open dead key. You just can't do it. You can't manage anything. If you have too much dead key, what's going to happen in your box? It's going to back up. So speaking about backing up, we're going to back the watts up now. We'll look at that one more time at the radio while I got it here. I'm going to back this radio all the way down. All right, 12.4 volts. The radio was tuned at properly at 14.2 volts is what they tuned the radio up at. So, all right, now let's look at the radio again. I got to set the carrier again at the 1.5 watts. Over. I think I did split the middle. There's what I did. All right, so here's the radio now down at 12.4 volts. Okay, follow me. Audio, 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 audio. You see, now I'm only doing approximately 8 watts RMS. Let's see what it says over here in the digital. Audio, 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 showing me 7. Let's see what the peaker tweaker says. Peaker tweaker, audio, 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 audio. 40 audio, 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 audio. 48 to 49 volts. Watts, 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 peak watts, peak watts. If you see everything I just did, I didn't change anything but that voltage. So I just controlled that radio to make it do less power. Now, if you had a radio tuned up 14.4 on dude's bench, and you go put it in your automobile, and you don't have 14.4, you might have 14.1, you might have 13.8. This is where you start seeing performance deviate away from the amplifier, because you don't have the same performance of how I'm showing you guys this. This is why I bring my radios up on voltage. This is why I bring my radio down on voltage, for I can control it and try to mimic or mock up what somebody else may or may not have in their system. So I'm not doing this video for one person. I'm doing it for everyone. Anyone that wants to take the time to watch one of my instructive videos. What's going on, Jim? To take and learn a little bit of something about how everything works. Now, fortunately, you're only really truly going to see that what I'm testing here is on bird meters. Yes, I have a digital Dave-made meter here. Will a digital meter work? Probably would. But understand where your RMS is, and is it true? And your peak is, and is it true? So understand the equipment that you're testing your stuff. I hear so many little fables about, oh, my amplifier does 6,000 watts. Okay, what size is that? Oh, that's a 16 pill. Woo, you're getting it. I don't think your meter is exactly correct. I've never seen a peak out of a 16 pill at 6,000 watts. Not a regular voltage, I hadn't. Now, maybe if I up something, it could possibly get up there. Sure could. All right, so moving forward, we got a soft radio now. We'll go over to slugs one more time. 5 watts going back to my radio. 25 watts going to show the input drive as we've been looking at. Shut that one off. Turn this back over to 2500 now. So here's the slugs we're going to look at. We're going to look at 2500 in digital, RMS and peak. And then we're going to look at the 1000, and that's going to get towards the corner. And then we're going to look at 2500, and that's going to be ran somewhere right around mid-scale in RMS and peak. Now, birds, all the bird lovers out there, give yourself a hug. Glad you spent the money and got it. I hope that not too many of you guys are running behind the 8 ball trying to buy this stuff up now. It is expensive. Woo! Talking out of control on the price of slugs. So if you guys can get yourself some good used ones, the old school, these are all old school. Even the coaxial dynamics really gone up. The slugs have gone up dynamically. It's not overnight. It's been going up for a while. Name the lens here. But you can watch this stuff on the birds and trust them. Now we could have did all that same testing on the analog as well. Reason why I chose to go with the digital on this video and talk more about the digital stuff, because it's a lot easier to read for you guys. Sometimes you're not paying attention, or I'm not holding still long enough. I mean, I'm human. I'm like this. I'm like, holy, look at that run. You can't see it. So I try to stay as still as possible for you guys. So if I miss something, please type it in there. I don't read everything, but type it in there. Say, one guy on the last test said, hey, what was the amperage at the higher voltage? I say, hey, thanks for reminding me. I've missed it. So I have a lot going on when I do these videos. Now, let's turn this up. Let's turn this down. And let's see what a super soft radio is going to make this little 2290 driving 828/79s run at. Let's light something else up. Let's take a look at this. All right, do that. That's 0. Here, let me go down here. We'll go to 400 amps. I want to read something. Here's the fan kit. Amperage is how much airflow you have really on fans. Ooh, look at that. 1.4 amps. That's real. Yes, sir. 1.4 amps on that fan kit. So, Michael, I got your call, brother. I actually got a couple of calls from you. I owe you a few calls. I've been a little busy. So, we're drawing somewhere right around 1.4 amps just on the kit, on the cooling system. It really puts out quite a bit of air. I wish you could feel it. Alright, here we go. We're going to light this up. Let's take a look at my input drive level. Voltage I'm at, working. 12.4. 5 watt input reflect. And we'll be reading that on this meter. This is our output of our radio. Output of radio, audio. So we're hanging out right around 7.5, 8 watts. Okay, input reflection. Going back to the radio, 5 watt slug, audio. 3/10 of a watt. Alright, let's look at the RMS. Bottom scale, each line is 20. Look at the analog stuff right now. Carrier's hanging out right around 125 or so. Audio. So I'm only doing 380 watts. Now, I was just discussing drivers with people on phone today about what could I use for this box. And I said, if you got a 2x8, you got this potentiometer on the front of it, and you can control it. But when you take it away there, you got to add it here to get it to drive. All right? So, you remember when you turn this thing up, this turns up too. So, you get 2 attenuations happening at once. So, let's continue over to here. Let's look at 2500 real quick. Audio, we're at 380, close to 400, audio, hanging out right there. Now, real quick, let's look at analog peak, peaking and tweaking. Analog peaking and tweaking, and this is a 2500 watt scale, and we're doing 1200 watts peak. Let's see what the digital says. This says 14, audio. 14, 25, and the RMS here. Audio. Boy, they just don't add up, does it? They don't add up. Look, watch. They don't add up. Audio. 69 amps, 70 amps. Here's your voltage, everything running up here too. Audio. 14.8, 68, 69 amps. Now, that don't really add up. It does add up because the RMS is severely suffering right now. It's not getting driven. All my radio is getting thrown away because I have that all the way down. That is what you call 100% control. You control the radio, and that's backed all the way down. Now, real quick before I change the voltage of the radio, I'm going to turn it all the way up. We'll just go from one to the other. I turn that up. Remember, watch this. Watch what happens. Okay, this is all the way down. About 120 watts on the carrier, right? Turn it all the way up. Ain't touching the radio. Watch what happens to that bad boy. See ya. So, if you're one of those guys that don't like to run a meter and you forget that step, you start waving bye-bye to your amplifier because you're going to smoke it eventually. So let's drop the carrier level down. And dead key about 240 now. Alright? Radio. Audio. It's only a little over 7.5 watts working. It's all the way down. I lost even more power. We were at 8. Input reflection. Audio. Right under 4/10. Digital. RMS. Audio. Flash at 800. Let's look at the analog. Audio. Right there touching. Let's look at the analog. 2500. Audio. 75800, and here's your peaker tweaker, analog, peaker tweaker, analog, peaker tweaker, audio 15, audio 1, 2, 3, 4, and here's your peak, digital peak, audio 1, 2, 3, 4. So, they're all jiving, they're not going to be exact. That's what's cool about what we do sometimes. Everything is not always the same, so it's really good to be consistent on how you're doing your testing. Now, is that all the amp has? I'm running a really soft radio. We're doing good. Now, let me show you something. Pay attention closely here, peaker tweakers. Pay attention here. Alright, here's your peak. And this is where the radio's at. I'm going to increase the radio, and you're going to see this not move too much more. Audio, 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 audio. So keep 1700, 1725 in your mind. Go back up here to analog. Let's go to this analog. Because this one's getting turned down right now. It's shutting it off. Alright, that one's shut off. This one's live, 2500. Audio, 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 audio. So we're pulling 800 watts RMS, 1750 watts peak. The amplifier's wide open. We're going to take and turn a radio up. Well, let's just go up to 13.8. Sounds like a good number. A lot of fellas like that number. See what my radio does. See how it burns all by itself. Radio RMS, audio, radio RMS. Boy, that radio sure woke up at 10 watts. Audio, wake up, radio, audio. It just woke up. It woke up a lot with about a volt. All right. Now, you seen where we just were, and I just turned that all the way back down to zero nada. Get a little carrier here. Okay, there we go. Now let's look at that RMS. Now let's look at the RMS working drive. Audio, 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 audio. Now we're high, and we're throwing a good 10 watts into it RMS. So if you want to know what the peak is, real quick, peak reflection. Here's your peaker tweaker free run. Audio 1, 2, 54. All right, moving up. Turn that off. Turn that up. And let's fire in the hole. Let's look at the amperage. Audio, 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 audio. Flashing 80. That's cool. Audio, amperage and voltage. Audio, audio, audio. 78. And here's your RMS. 2500 watts. Audio, 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 audio. That's 500 watts. It's back all the way down. Where's my peak? Peaker tweaker, audio, audio. Still at 1475. The peak is full. What are we doing at this point? We are going to fill in the RMS. 13.8. Now, you just seen where I was at on the carrier. Look. I'm way up there at 4.5 watts because this was back all the way down. So, again, if you forget to turn this off, this is going to fly. See it? Just flew up there. And that wasn't in peak. So I'll take and back this down. Get a reasonable dead K. There we go. I like to see right around 250 when I'm doing videos. And there we go. RMS, audio, 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 audio. So that's a cool 800. Let's look at RMS here. Audio, 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 850 there. Let's look at the peak. Audio, peaker, tweaker, still at 1750 watts or so. That's wide open. We're at 13.8. And this box is running exactly like it's supposed to. Alright, we'll turn this on. Here's your 1000 again. Audio, 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 audio. Not quite that 900 there. Audio, 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 audio. Hanging out there. Peak is peak. Let's look at the peak up here. Peaker, tweaker, 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 peaker. 16 or so. Now, if I turn this up, and this is full boat radio, we'll go beyond where he tuned at. We'll show you a hot radio. And a hot radio, there you go. Hot radio, audio 12. Keep picking up power. Here's your peaker, tweaker, radio, audio, audio, audio. 63 or so. Alright. Let's light it up one more time. Look at the amps this time. Here. Alright, there we go. Amperage. Audio, 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 audio. 123.6 or everything of 8. Audio, 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 audio. 121. And here's your 1000 watt slug. Now they're not fully calibrated at the end. Audio, 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 showing like 950 or so. The thing about the bird is about half scale of what the slug is where you're going to get your most accurate readings. That's why I try to hang out with the ones that will run about half scale. Here's your RMS audio, audio, showing 925. Now let's look at the 2500. Audio, 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 right there on top of that 1000. And then we'll look at the analog peaker, tweaker, tweaker, and a peaker, tweaker, peaker, tweaker, peaker, audio. Now, if I cut my mic gain off, the peak should have the same dead key as the analog. Okay, so let's look at the analog here on this meter. That's a 50 watts a line now. It's a 2500 watt slug. A little over $1.50. Cut the mic gain off. Pretty close. There's only one way to calibrate it, and there's only one screw in there, and they tell you how to do it. On carrier, with the button off in AM mode, throw carrier, half scale, turn on the peak, no modulation, carrier should be the same. The adjustment in the back is just for carrier, and that's on the original OEM Bird peak kit. Alright, so we just seen the radio go up to full power. At the amplifier, we showed the peak. We kept on showing the peak of the radio of how we're driving it. Now, your performance is definitely going to take and be altered a bit if your radio isn't up to the same performance of mine. But I should have covered most or everybody's radios that could run into this unit properly. And mind you, a dual final radio commonly does not fare out very well with 2 driving anything, and sometimes even 4 driving anything. So the dual final radios are kind of like schoolyard bully when it comes to have a 1-pill stage driver or even a 2-pill stage driver. They don't always like to coexist with each other. Now, if I left the radio where it's at and increase my voltage probably, I don't know, 3/4 of a volt or so, let me take and turn on another supply and plug in, and we'll go up just a little bit on the voltage. Alright, now I am going to look at a couple different things. Make sure everything's there. First thing, we're going to start off with the amperage. Take and clear this out. See if it works. Okay. Alright. So here's our amperage now. Take a look at this. And we'll look at the voltage. Audio, 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 audio. I'm turned all the way down. Don't not run. I can't do that. Sorry, man. Amp clamp gives you problems sometimes. Audio. I don't know why I only have 44 amps. Audio. Oh. No mic gain there, Dan. Try that. Audio. 132 amps. I'm cooking with oil now. Wattage. Audio, solid 11 watts input drive. Input reflection, 5 watt slug, each line's a 1/10. Audio, still under half a watt. 1 watt. 1 watt, half watt, 1 watt, half watt. Alright, 1000 watt slug. I will see you later. Audio, yep, she gone. Alright, RMS 2500. Here's your voltage, by the way. Audio, 15.6. 2500, each line's 50. Audio, that is 1100. Audio, 1050, 11. And let's look at the RMS right here. Audio, audio, 1025. Let's see the peaker tweaker. Did it increase? 1725 was the last one. Audio, audio, wow, 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 wow. 1900. Now let's take a look at the peaker up here. Audio, wow, 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 whoa. Yep, she's there. So there you have it. Yeah, no doubt, Steve. That blew my mind. I won that. I'm going to play the lotto tomorrow. I'm going to get me a ticket. I'm on a hot streak. Things are looking up. Woo! So there you have it. One nice little polished up 2 driving 8 Running like a king. Well, let's see. Look at this little girl sprawled out. Molly, what you got going on? You being a good girl? Huh? How's things? How's things? How you doing? You good girl? You gonna wave? Molly? Hi, everybody. What's going on? Did you like the box? Did it run good? Huh? Did it run good, Molly? Yeah? Hey, tell me about it. You gonna talk? Yeah? How'd you like it? You liked it a lot? Was it pretty? It's not so pretty? Did it look sinister? Yeah, badass, huh? You're a good girl? Yes. You would you like a roller? Let's get you a roller. Get you a roller. Let's get you a rolling cookie. Here's a good one. You see that one? Look at that cookie. Ready? Watch this. Watch. Sit, 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 sit. Ready? Here goes. Get it, Molly. Go get that roller. Oh, get it. You get it? Yes, you got it. All right, guys. Well, there you have it. One little 2 driving 8. I upped the voltage a bit. Let's take a look at the amperage one more time. Adio, 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 adio. 132. Let's see what it is here. Adio, adio, adio. 130, 132. So, if you think you got a 100 amp power supply and you want to try to run a 2 driving 8, it's probably not going to work out very well. Molly, everybody said hi to you. They all said hi. How'd you like that cookie? Yeah? Got a little peanut butter in that cookie? Molly, sit. They got a little peanut butter in the cookie? Does it? Did you like that? Was it good? Was it good, Molly? Yeah. Of course it was good. Yes. You're a good girl. Thank you for hanging out with us. You did a good job. Yes, you did. Yeah. You did. You did a great job. Yes, you sure did. Where's Zip? Charles, Zip had been gone for a couple, 2-3 years now. I think the coyotes snagged him up November 17th back in the day at the house I lived in, Beecher. I lost him. He went out and potty one night and didn't come back. It's been pretty rough. So there you have it. One little 2 driving 8. Molly put her stamp of approval on it. And I believe I really like this amp, how I have it situated and how it turned out and how the performance is. So that said, guys, thanks for hanging out. Another great video. I can't believe I have to thank Black Cat Radio again. I won that raffle. I can't believe it. I said, this guy supports me. I need to support him. And I threw $30 in the hat like everybody else. And I picked my dad's old numbers, 133. And I was 123. My dad was 133. And I won that. I think that's the first that's the first raffle I won that had any volume to it. That's flipping awesome. So I don't know what I'm going to do with all this stuff yet, but I'll sort through it. That's for sure. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. I have some other stuff coming up. Like I said, I had an 8. Probably have a 5, a South Jersey 5 coming up, and some other things. So thanks again for watching, everybody. Hanging out. If you visited me on YouTube and just tripped across it, please hit the subscribe button. 123 Built Chicago. And on Facebook, I'm Danny Frechette with Jaws the Shark is my profile. So there you go, guys. Another great little South Jersey 2 driving 8, 22290s doing 2879s, 8 of them. So I believe this is going to be a driver maybe for this guy that got this. I'm not sure. I know the last one I did was a driver for sure, but this one kind of up in the air on it. But either way, however the guy chooses to use it, please take and pay attention to your coax. Make life simple. Simply get some 213, and if you can stub tune your coax to frequency, just understand what piece of coax you have in your hand, because there's many different families to coax of the velocity family or velocity factor. You know, 0.66, 0.69, 0.879, let's see, 0.80, 81, and you're getting up into heliaxes, and you have LMRs, and you have the Teflons. Most Teflons are all 0.695, I think. But either way, if you take and want to jump down that rabbit hole, there is a video on YouTube about let's jump down a rabbit hole, tune some coax. I think it's what it said. So I show how to trim it, how to tune it, put the ends on, and etc. Kind of a lengthy video, but very educational. All right, guys. Thanks for watching again. God bless. Catch you next time around. I'm out of here.